Hello and welcome back to another not Marvel Champions. Why do I always do that? Lord of the Rings live stream. Today we are continuing on in our progression playthrough with Into Fangorn. Yes, Into Fangorn, the final box of the Voice of Isengard Deluxe expansion. This one is a little bit easier than the last week's play, which is very much appreciated. Last week was a brutal quest, really fun but brutal. Also, since it is the last one, if we do win today, we get to open new content. New content is always fun. I'm excited to open the Dunlin Trap, which is the next quest in our progression play. Hey Josh, how's it going? Hope you're doing fantastic. Unboxing, yay! That is if we win. That is if we win. But I think we have a fairly good shot here. I did pick some heroes that we have not played with before, and so we played with this one. We've played with this one, but a couple of them we haven't played with, and so let's dive in and talk about the heroes. First up, we have I want to talk about this one, Theoden. So Theoden Tactics is a Sentinel hero, which means nothing for solo, at least yet. They may play off of it, like they have some attachments that deal with ranged, but I don't think they have anything that deals with Sentinel yet. Theoden is a 12 threat hero, which is a little insane. 2 willpower, 3 fight, 2 defense, 4 health, and then each hero with a printed tactics resource or icon gets a +1 willpower, so he's actually a 3 willpower. Now, I wanted to keep this a little thematic, and since we're playing the Voice in Isengard, this is kind of the Rohan box. I wanted to play with some Rohan, and so the King of Rohan had to include him in here. The other kind of options that I was looking at, I wanted to do Aomer, but Aomer just didn't really work with this scenario that much because a lot of the attacks are coming at you not during, well, all of the attacks are coming at you not during the combat phase. And so Aomer just didn't really work with the scenario. And then, I don't remember the other person. I guess we can look at it real quick. There's a player card or two that benefits from Sentinel, so that's not... Okay, good. And then... No, not Bard. Who was it? Hama. Yes, Hama. And Hama was the other kind of Rohan that I was looking at, but I decided not to go with him because his ability is after he's declared an attacker, you can return a tactics card from your discard pile into your hand. And again, the strategy that I'm leaning into is kind of ignoring. This is the closest I think I've ever come to like a rush deck in Lord of the Rings. The idea is to win quick. And so that's what we are going for. What was I was also going to look for something else, but oh yeah, I wanted this. Cool. Okay, so we got Theoden. And Theoden is not complete without his trusty sidekick, Grima Wormtongue. So we've got Theoden and Wormtongue side by side, just like they should be. You cannot tell me that this is not a match made in whatever. But Grima Wormtongue came in this box. He's a 9 threat hero. It's a 2/1/2/3. And then his action is lower the cost of the next card you play from your hand that's drawn by 1. That card game's doomed 1. Very, very strong ability if you build into it. And love Grima. Yeah, he's fast. And that's what I'm always kind of averse to these negative effects where doomed 1 means that you raise your threats a little bit. Hey, Beast No, how's it going? 10 months. That's awesome. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate you. That's crazy. 10 months. So cool. I'm always kind of averse to these raising your threat or adding bad things to the table for benefits. And I'm glad I tried Grima out because the 1 threat rate, like, increase can be offset with some spirit heroes, or just like the spirit sphere, but also like the acceleration that you get from getting a extra resource, especially in a Tri-Seer deck, getting ahead 1 round is so very powerful. And we're gonna utilize this in our playthrough today. And the keys are ridiculous with them. Yep, we got the keys. Don't you worry about the keys. The keys are actually, we got 2 of them. They are unique and so we can only play one of them, but they are going to be over here on our last hero, the niece of Theoden, Éowyn. So Éowyn is from our core box. We know and we love her. 9 threat, 4 quest, 1/1/3. We can discard a card to give Éowyn +1 willpower until the end of the round. The reason that Éowyn is in here is this requires a lot of burst questing, and that's kind of how I found to win this game. Is you just this scenario, just go quick. The majority of this deck is Spirit, which is why the keys go on Éowyn. Éowyn is now the key of Isengard, has the keys of Isengard. The deck build is fairly ally heavy, and what I think is really cool, and like it makes sense, but for some reason, like Grima's ability to throw a 2-cost ally onto the table turn 1 just didn't like click for me until like I started playing it. I was like, okay, this is really strong. And so these are the deck kind of leans into lower cost allies, and yeah. The sad thing is Grima thinks she's a date and Theoden is there to chaperone. Right? Yes. But he's really there to kill Grima if he looks at Éowyn twice. Éowyn is nuts. Put unexpected courage on her in a lone tree quest for 8 or 10 if you... I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you can double quest with a hero. I don't think you can. I think you can only commit a hero once to a quest. Now you can stand them up, but I don't think you can recommit them. Josh, can you help me with that? So I'm not... Because things change now, if that is the case. So the cheaper allies, well, we've got way to shatter my hopes and dreams. I'm sorry. Sadly, no. Yeah, but so we're doing a lot of questing right here on the table. We've got 9 quests with just our hero, 9 willpower, right? 4, 3, 2 plus 1 is 10. So it gets insane. It gets really, really quick. It's fun. We got Guthlaf. So if there's at least one Rohan hero in play, reduce your cost by of him by 1. So he's a 2 hero, meaning that if we wanted to, we could add Doomed and play him on turn 1. That's a dumb rule. Why stand her up if she can't quest again? I need to write an open letter to FFG. Yes. Oh no. Oh, my cards just went away. We've got Himomoth. Check out that top card. We've got Gleowine to draw a card. This, I mean, we may play. We got 2 copies of Defender. Now, these are really out here because of their 2 costs. It's not a... We're not going to be able to defend any attack and survive with the Defender. But there are a couple... there are enemies in here that will attack you. But there are also a lot of enemies in this quest that will, like, deal damage. And so these are fodder. These are fodder. We've got 2 copies of the Westfold Outrider. We've got 3 copies of the Spearman. I don't believe I've ever played it that way, but the thought just hit me. Wrong yet again. This is why I don't have ideas. And then we've got 3 copies of Rivendell Minstrel. Now this is one consistency of draw, as well as just being able to have a 2 willpower ally on the table, because we're going to need a lot of questing, and she's going to go grab Song of Travel because the majority of the deck is blue. This is probably going to be going on Theoden. So Theoden does not have a lot of tactics to target, and there's more green cards in this deck than there are red cards. We got 3 copies of Miner of the Iron Hills. There are some condition attachments in here that we do need to get rid of. And speaking of Miner of the Iron Hills, we are also going to run 2 copies of Power of Orthnach, which is each player can choose and discard a condition attachment from play. So we got a couple of ways to mitigate those condition attachments, because they can be kind of nasty. We got 2 copies of Isengard Messenger. So 2 cost. After your threat is raised from the Doom keyword, Isengard Messenger gets +1 willpower until the end of round, twice per round. So really great for getting at least a 2, especially if you used Grima's ability to play him then it's coming in at a 1 with a 2 quest. And then if we're using that ability consistently throughout the game, he's always going to be sitting at a 2 willpower, which does help a lot with that quest. Still nice to have her ready for things like high test. I'm sure that's what you're thinking of. She can still quest for 5 alone, and you can't convince me. Yeah, oh yeah, she can still quest for 5. She's insanely powerful. Got 2 copies of the Rittermark's Finest. Got 3 copies of Stand and Fight because we got a lot of allies out here. This also allows us to use Eowyn's ability to discard an ally, maybe like a minor, and then we can utilize Stand and Fight later for the flexibility to pull it back. Got 3 copies of A Test of Will. I don't know why these are in front of my other allies. I apparently did not do that correctly. We've got 3 copies of West Road Traveler. Now, West Road Traveler in here, her abilities states that after you play her from your hand, switch the active location with any other location from the staging area. We have this starting location here that has a pretty nasty travel effect where we have to go pull out an enemy. And if we can deck into a location, then West Road Traveler, we're going to mulligan kind of hard for West Road Traveler so that we can swap whatever we travel to and not resolve this travel effect. So that's kind of the way that we're going to try and get around this. We got Westfold Horsebreaker, some Gandalfs. We have a lot of allies, so Horn of Gondor is going to be great. Horn of Gondor is going to be over here on Eowyn. Or if we can get a song out, we'll probably throw it on Theoden. We've got Galadriel's Greetings because we're not really going to care about our threat here. Nelson, not sure if you saw the pics of your storage box yet, but you need to get a few. They look sick. Yeah, no. So Beastno shared some pictures of the new storage box for Marvel Champions on the Discord, and it looks so nice. It looks so incredibly cool. Jealous. Got Hasty Strokes and Dwarven Tombs to top it all off. So very spirit heavy. Out of the Shrink has the Dream setup. I don't think I've seen Out of the Shrink setup. Or maybe I have. I just didn't associate that they were of what it was. Okay. So this quest is, hey, Sam off the shore. Good afternoon. How you doing? Good luck with the quest. I appreciate it. Yeah. So we're looking at this. I'm pretty sure that this quest could be one a lot easier with a different set of heroes, but I did want to go a little bit more thematic this time around. But if we wanted to, we could probably swap Theoden out for someone else, whether that is probably another spirit hero, or I was thinking Lord Aragorn, and then we don't ever have to worry about threat. We just go up, quest a lot. Love Grima, great true solo. Grima is really cool. I was saying earlier that I was a little put off by his ability, just like from a risk standpoint, because I typically think of myself as a little bit more of a conservative player. Just how much risk I'm willing to take on. I think I could probably win a lot of these battles 2, maybe even 3 turns before, but I like to go for the consistent win, and that's that turned me off at Grimo. But after playing a couple of games with him, he's so strong. Pics were posted in January. You probably saw them. 3 boxes for each LCG. So gorgeous. Nice. Combine it with Lord Aragorn, and you can, yeah. You go with Lord Aragorn, who allows you to reset your starting threat back down to whatever it was at the start. So you can just go crazy with Grima, run all the lore. Yeah. That is a combo that I am looking forward to do at some point. I wanted to try and keep this within the Rohan family, or the Rohan tribe, but here we are. Okay. Cool. So this quest is, I think, ranked about a 4.7 on Hall of Bjorn, which is where I go for quest rankings. It's community ranks, which I have found have been fairly accurate. So 4.7 is fairly low. That's less than Anduin, which is, I think, like a 5 or so. The idea behind this quest, actually, let's pull out a hero, or let's pull out one of these enemies. Yeah, right there. So like we have these Horn enemies, which either have a high threat of like 34 or 36, or a threat of or 38, or a threat of 1. And these have hinder. And so what hinder is a new keyword for this scenario. And while engaged with a player, an enemy with a hinder keyword is not dealt a shadow card and does not make an attack during the combat phase. Instead of making attacks, they force players to remove progress from the current quest or active location at the beginning of the combat phase. Each player removes 1 progress token from the current quest with each enemy with the hinder engaged with him. So if there's no progress on the current quest, players remove from the active location instead. So they are going to be hindering your progress, and we just need to be conscious about how many we have. But the idea behind this deck is just to quest through and not necessarily worry about them. There are a couple that attack, which can be a little nasty, and all of these have an ability at the start of the resource phase to either attack, deal damage, or raise our threat. So the idea of the deck is to outrun the trees. Grima, Loragorn, and Pippin make an awesome team. Tactics Pippin? Oh wait, no. It's Lore Pippin. Nice. Yeah. Feels so good using all the Doom cards without worrying. Yeah, that's awesome. Then you got that card that does what? Draw a card for every lore hero you got. Crazy. Okay, so we're gonna be looking for one of those Westroad Travelers or a Key of Orthanc. We got Isengard Messenger, Key, Miner, Horn of Gondor, Stand and Fight. This is probably worth keeping. We can deal with the effect here where we have to go find one of those enemies to get, and so I think this is actually probably fairly good. We can drop Isengard Messenger turn 1 just to help get some of that out there. We have Theoden to be able to drop a Horn of Gondor on Eowyn, Keys of Orthanc on Eowyn. I like it. It's so good. Let's read. So, into the woods. You've captured the orc captain Mugash in the mountains above Isengard, but you make your way down Methadras. Your captive escapes and flees east into Fangorn. Add Edge of Fangorn to the staging area and attach Mugash to that location. Shuffle the encounter deck. Reveal X encounter cards where X is equal to the number of players in the game, -1. I love that they have started doing that. The -1, where like it doesn't necessarily overly punish the solo play. So you pursue Mugash into the ancient forest to find the trees themselves seem to be attacking him. Without thinking, you hack at the tree branch. Rookie mistake. You hack at the tree branches to rescue their captive. This is where you first sense your own peril. Time 4. After the last time counter is removed from this stage, shuffle Mugash into the encounter deck and advance to stage 3. The players cannot advance to stage 2 unless Mugash is attached to a hero. We've got 9 progress tokens there with the time 4. Our Edge of the Fangorn is immune to player card effects, and as it has a travel effect, to search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Horn enemy and add it to the staging area. 2 or 2 or more if there's 3 players in the game. Mugash is guarded. We have an action to exhaust a hero to claim this objective when it's free of encounters, and then attach Mugash to that hero, and then after the attached hero takes damage, return Mugash to the top of the encounter deck. So he's kind of distracting everyone as he's trying to run away. Okay, let's start it out. We got a first pull Gandalf. I'm happy with that. What I also like about Grima's ability is that we can trigger the action and never play a card. So since it is an action, it says lower the cost of the next card you play from your hand this round by 1. So we can trigger this action if we had like maybe a test of will in our hand. We could say, I'm triggering Grima's action, and then we can hang on to test of will. And if we do end up triggering or drawing into a bad when revealed effect, or heck, even if we don't, we draw into a hasty stroke, we can play that for free and then it gains doomed 1. There's no timing. There's no time limit on when we can do that outside of the round. So as long as we play a card that round, which could be an event card, we're good. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do one resource from Eowyn to play the Keys of Orthanc on Eowyn. It says after you raise your threat from the Doom keyword, exhaust keys to add one resource to the attached hero's resource pool. We're going to use Grima to play Isengard Messenger. It costs Doom 1. So we increase our threat. We're going to exhaust keys to get a card or get a resource. Boom. And we raised our threat, so this is now a 2 willpower this round. With Thunders of Ice and Deep Knowledge, unbelievable card draw. And then throw in Peace and Thought just for the heck of it. And then, we got one to go with a Horn of Gondor. We're going to also throw the Horn of Gondor over here on Eowyn. This may be a little overkill, but in my practice games, if I ran out of spirit resources, we were in a lot of trouble. So we're going to throw that over there. And then typically these just pile up resources. If we can draw into a Song of Travel, then, I mean, we're going to be golden here. Let's quest. Let's do some questing. So we've got 4, 6, 9. There is really no reason for us not to just go all out questing here. There are no enemies in this encounter deck that will attack us during the combat phase. So if we go all out, we're not going to get surprised with a random attack. So we'll just go quest all out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Did I do that right? Yeah, because I can discard a card for 12. So 11 showing 2. When revealed, each player must assign X damage among characters, where X is the number the character's controls. So I need to assign 4 damage. I'm going to go 2 on Grima and 1 and 1 here. Now the reason being is that we will probably attach Mugash to Grima. And with that, we will need to not have Grima take damage. And so this forces us to not do that. Okay, so we went 11 to 2, so we're placing 9, which we could progress. However, we are not able to progress if we don't control Mugash. So we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Now we have the option to travel. We have the option to travel to pull a enemy. If we pull an enemy, it would probably be the 38 enemy. And at that point, if they are engaged with us, they would be attacking us. We are at 31. We don't have any ways outside of like Gandalf to reduce our threats. However, with Gandalf, I'm okay pulling an enemy at this point. We also have time. Right, so we have 4 rounds before we need to progress. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and travel, and we may sit here for a little bit and not attach Grima, or I'm sorry, not attach Mugash to Grima, and then we cannot progress. But that does give us a little bit more time to build and just give us a little bit more security in pushing forward. So let's go ahead and travel. Exhaust. Or search the encounter deck. We're gonna grab the Angry. Am I saying this Horn? Is it Horn or Hjorn? So Hinder cannot have attachments at the beginning of each resource phase. The Angry Hjorn attacks the engaged player. It has a threat of 3. The other option would be to grab the 34. Want to steal 3 damage? No, we're definitely not doing that. And we'll shuffle. We will choose to not engage this thing. So at the end of the round, we will reduce our time, increase our threat to 32, stand everybody up, and hopefully draw into something good. A defender. Okay. So we'll pass out some money. It would have been nice to have a cancel here. I'm thinking we quest hard again. and let me just check and make sure that the hinder is if you're engaged with it. Yeah, engaged. Not sure on horn. The way you're saying it seems good. Horn. Yeah, cool. Okay. Thank you. We could go doomed here for a defender of Ramos, but that does either of these cards don't really get us anywhere. We could throw Gandalf on the table for a doomed. It's actually not a bad idea, but I think I'd rather hang on to Gandalf to help with that push next turn. So what we'll probably do here is quest fairly hard, leave Grima out of the questing, and then ideally clear this, allow Grima to exhaust to attach this objective. We do want to quest. It depends on what we flip. If we flip one of those horn enemies that engages us at 1, we would have to remove the quest from the current progress from the current quest. Sorry, I stayed up really late last night. We recorded our final episode of our podcast last night, and it went on for way longer than I was expecting, and so I'm a little tired this morning. So we could quest fairly hard here. Yeah, let's do it. So let's go ahead and quest. I think we're gonna leave Grima out of this one. I think we'll leave Grima out of this one, just in case we remove a time. So we got 4, 5, 8. So we're showing 3, so 5. We should be good here. If we flip a 3, we should still be good. Also, like, Theoden having a 3 quest is very solid, or a 3 willpower is very, very solid. He's expensive. He's got a 12 threat, but it's nice to have high willpower outside of Spirit. We're gonna activate Grima's ability. I don't think it matters at all. I guess it could. Yeah, we'll activate Grima's ability. I actually don't think I have anything that is a valid target. I don't think Stand and Fight is a valid target for Grima's ability, but here we go. Okay, so we're questing for 8. We're showing 3. I'm going to flip into a Tangled Woods. While Tangled Woods is in the staging area, each forest location in play gains travel. Exhaust a hero to travel here. The ability does not stack with other copies of Tangled Wood. So we're showing 5, questing for 8. We're throwing 3 and then 1 here. So this has a victory. The guarded here, we can exhaust a hero to claim this objective when it's free of encounters. Put that up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and travel here by exhausting Grima instead of grabbing Mugash, just because we have a little bit more time. We have some more time on the round. So let's get this out because we will need to clear that at some point. So let's stand up. We're at 33. That's the other thing, is at some point we're going to have to engage this, and that's... Oh, we have Gandalf to reduce our threat. Never mind, we're fine. I'm going to pass out some money. Give me something good. Another defender. Let's go 2 for the defender here. This is also down to 2. So we probably want to push here. I think pushing here is a good call, because if there is an encounter card in here that removes time, then we're in trouble at that point. So if we need to push, we actually can push right now if we wanted to by exhausting, say, Grima, attaching Mugash, and I believe that this would push immediately. Josh, I wonder if you can help me with that. Since this is full, if I immediately attach Mugash, do I immediately progress? I think so. I think that is how that would work. So I may actually do that. Immediately. The only reason to not do that is we will have to pull out another enemy, and that could be an issue. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and exhaust Grima. We're gonna get Mugash down here, and then we'll progress. Boom. You've rescued. That's what we're doing. We're rescuing Mugash here. You've rescued Mugash from the trees, but you sense the forest itself seized with anger towards you. The thankless orc struggles against you, and the tree branches grasp at you. It's going to be a hard fight to get out of Fangorn with your captive. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a horn enemy and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. This has a time 4. After the last time counter is removed from this stage, shuffle Mugash into the encounter deck and advance to 3A. Players cannot defeat the stage unless Mugash isn't attached to a hero. And then this says 12. The players defeat the stage, they win the game. So we'll go find a... We're at 33. So we have 3 options. We can take the deadly, we can take the angry, or we can take the dark-hearted. There are benefits to each one of these, so let's talk through those. The angry is at the beginning of the resource phase. It attacks the engaged player. Right now we're sitting at not engaging this for a while. However, it is a 3 threat towards our current progress. That could be an issue. I may should have not traveled here, but here we are. The Dark-Hearted. At the beginning of each resource phase, the engaged player raises his threat by 1. I think this is by 2. So we would be going up 3 each round, meaning that we would engage anything else that came out sooner. It only shows 2, but we would engage it immediately and we'd start removing progress. I don't think that's it. Or the Deadly. The beginning of each resource phase, the engaged player deals 3 damage to a character that they control. I don't like any of them. I'm going to take this. I think our questing power is, especially with our current hand, is better than our ability to take damage. So I'd rather send that up there for a little bit. We're showing 10 before we clear that main. And so I don't know if I should have traveled there. Who knows? Who knows? Here we are. Okay, so we could drop Gandalf to quest harder for us. If we drop Gandalf, what we would do is we would reduce his cost to 4. We would probably pay for it using 3, 4 here. That would give us +1, reduce our threat by 4 effectively, taking us down to a 29. We could quest really, really hard, probably clear this, and we would end up with more money here. The only thing that... Yeah, that's an option. That is an option. I don't quite know why we wouldn't do that. So let's do it. So we're going to use Grima's action. Lower the cost of the next card you play from your hand by 1. So this costs 4. I'm going to spend 3, 4. And Gandalf comes into play. We added Doomed once. We go up to 34. Hey, it's also the one. Thank you for the subscription. Subscribe for 6 months. Awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now we reduce our threat by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to 29. Hey, everybody. And now we have Gandalf on the table. We're going to exhaust keys to give a resource over here to Eowyn. And then the Isengard Messenger gains +1 willpower. So now we've got a lot going on and we can quest pretty hard. So let's go ahead and do that. We also have cards that we can pitch for Eowyn's ability. So let's just count it all up. We got 4, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to 8. 1, 2. And 13. I think I did math wrong. 8, 10, 13. Nope, I did math correctly. How are we doing today, Nelson? We're doing good. Yeah, it's good. Tired. It's rainy and overcast, which is supposed to be like this for the next couple of days, and so I I've been playing a lot of disc golf, and that's been what's getting me out and like walking and stuff. It's been great, and so not having that on the horizon is a little sad, but that means I can actually do like productive things like clean and make videos. So that's good. Okay, so we're questing for 13. We're showing 6. We're gonna flip into, oh no, another. This is really bad actually. Um, that's not good. The forecast in our area is pretty gloomy. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, so we're showing 9. We quested for 13, so 4 clears here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pitch a stand and fight to get +1. So we're gonna go 1 here. This is really scary. This is really scary, and I think we may actually just engage one of them just to get them out of the. If we're going to engage one, we're not going to discard a card. But having 3 of those is bad. Having 3 of those is bad. I think we need to engage one of them and just tank hits. So we've got 1 hit. We got a stand and fight for a 2nd hit. Yeah, we're going to engage one. So hinder, they don't attack here, but they do remove progress from the quest. So there is no quest, so they're not going to remove any progress. And now we're going into refresh phase. So we increase our threats. Gandalf goes and does the Gandalf things. We're going to stand up. Out of all the scenarios, I never engaged, or I never had 3 of those in the staging area. That's a lot of threat to deal with. At the start of the resource phase, this thing is going to attack us with 5 plus a boost card. We're going to defend here with the defender. It'll be 5. There is no shadow effect, so the defender dies. That's going to trigger Horn of Gondor to give us 1 resource over here for Eowyn. And then we passed out money, and we're going to get to draw a card, which is a Hasty Stroke. We need, oh my goodness. These are bad. These are really bad. Because I don't have anything in this deck that can kill stuff. I wasn't expecting to deal with this. That's funny. And we have a lot of questing to do, and we just don't have the hand to do the quest. I mean, the deck is packed with high quest allies. We just don't have it. So that being said, let's go ahead and we can cry a little bit. Let's go 2 from Grima to drop a Miner the Iron Hills. This is going to be a blocker for us. I'm thinking about engaging a second one. We can engage a second one because this is effectively removing 3 progress in the staging area. 3 progress are engaged with us. It's removing 1 progress. It's one way to look at it, but we also have to deal with the attacks. The attacks can be canceled with like the defenders and everything. I'm so mad about the fact that Stand and Fight can't grab Gandalf. The other option would be to look to see if we could kill one of these things. The answer is probably no, right? So we have to deal 8 damage. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could stand and we could kill this thing. We're just sacrificing a lot of threat because we're not going to be questing. And I don't think that's worth it. But if we drop a defender, we pull a defender, then we are looking at 3, 4, 5, 8 attack. And it's just not good. Especially since you can make the... Exactly, right? So, we could kill it, but it's if we're doing that, we're only questing for 2, which means that all of these will engage us, and then we're in even more. Actually, we may not be. Hold up. Now, this is where, when I was saying that I typically avoid these high-risk situations. Check this out. So, if we go crazy, we don't quest at all, then we will raise our threat to over 38. That means that all of these will engage us. If we have all of the allies out there, right? We've pulled defender, we've played the second defender, and we have minor. We have blocks for these allies. Can we quest for 12 the next turn? It kind of depends on what the card draws. If we can't, then we're in a lot of trouble. But it'd be kind of fun. We can kill one of the angry horns. Or I guess like we could slow play it even more. Like we could quest hard, engage, then have the blockers, and then next turn engage again. That seems. I mean, that sounds kind of fun. That sounds kind of fun. If we just don't quest, we pull out blockers for everything. We have the answer to the attacks. I mean, we have infinite money with Eowyn at that point, and then what we really need is a good top deck draw here. And we have a stand and fight, so we can protect another one. We have an Isengard Messenger, which can take a hit from a. That's 5 hits. That we should be drawing. Ideally, we'll draw into an ally. That could be crazy. Could be crazy. Oh yeah, and if we don't quest, we won't have. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because I don't necessarily think that there is a path to victory if we don't do this. I think we slowly lose just because these will in fact engage us at some point, or we roll the dice on it. Also, this is down to 3. That's the other thing, is that we're about to loot. We need to go quick, so we're gonna do that. We're not gonna quest. Actually, hold up. We're gonna go doomed 1. So get a boom boom to play defender. I'm gonna spend 2 for a stand and fight for a defender. I guess we could quest with Isengard Messenger. There's no reason to not quest with the Messenger. So let's go. We're questing 2. This is just kind of fun too. Just see what happens. It's questing 2. When revealed, each horn and enemy engaged with the player makes an immediate attack. If no attack was made, each player searches the encounter deck. That's actually not good. That's very, very bad. That's why we don't quest with the Isengard Messenger. So we can't kill this guy. Bummer. Okay, we'll defend with the defender. Oh, we could stand and fight again. So it's 5. This attack is undefended. Return the active location to the staging area. None of those things happen. Defender triggers a Horn of Gondor. We're showing 6. Oh my goodness, we don't engage them. Interesting. Okay. So we go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no. We go up 4. Because we did quest with 2 here. So we're only at 35. Let's go ahead and spend 2 resources from Eowyn's pool to stand and fight this defender. We will engage here. There's no progress to remove. And so we will swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 to kill this guy. And now we have more defenders. Okay. Worked out a little bit better. But now we are sitting at 36. We need a good card. Gondorian Spearman's not bad. Not good. It's not exactly what I wanted. We have to quest really hard these next... and actually, this thing is going to make an attack. which defender will block. So it's going to be 5. Defending player exhausts a character. Will exhaust minor. And then this thing is dead. This thing is uber dead. Pass out money. So we got the Gondorian Spearman, which we can throw in for the heck of it, I guess. There's no reason to put Gondorian Spearman. Actually, the reason to put Gondorian Spearman into play is for the +2 willpower here. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to spend 1 Doomed, go up to 37. We're going to exhaust keys to get a resource here. Yeah, keys with this is so good. Keys with Grima is so freaking good. To drop a Gondorian Spearman. Now we're going to be in the quest phase. We've got 4, 6, 9, 11. And that's all we got. We only got 11. We're showing 3. We're going to flip into a Deadly Horn. So at the beginning of each resource phase, the engaged player must deal 3 damage to a character he controls. We're showing 5. We're going to place 6 progress here. So 2, 4, 6. This engages us. We remove 2 progress. And we will stand up. Increase our threat to 38. We're about to be in trouble. We get an attack, which we will defend with, I guess, the Spearman. So 5, no shadow effect. But we deal a damage. The Spearman's poking at the branches. And then 3 damage. We'll deal 3 damage here. Actually, we'll deal 3 damage here. And this is down to 1. So we have to push through this turn. Come on, give me a Gandalf. Does not do it. That's probably not good enough. Let's pass out money. We can see, but here we are. We'll use Grima's ability. We'll increase our threat to play Westfold Horsebreaker. We spend 1 keys. We exhaust to get it back. Also, we have more money because we just destroyed 2 characters. We have enough money over here. We're at 2. Probably not going to be good enough, but let's try it. Regardless, we got... I should have discarded a card last time for the +1. Huh. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12. We've got 12. We're showing 3. You're telling me it's possible. We're going to flip into a 2. That's 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're down to 7. So we're placing 7 on 4. We'll discard a card. 8. There's game. Because we'll trigger Aowen's ability. There you go. That was kind of fun. That was riskier than I like to play, but that did it. All right, we quested for 13. We're showing 5, which takes us down to 8. We're showing 4 here. We quest out at 12. Yeah, we're good. that was kind of cool. What is the best way to purchase this LCG if I started now? Don't mean to deviate too much from the gameplay, but if you could give the abridged version or a YouTube link, I'd appreciate it. Of course, I need to just make this video. I get this question a lot, but this is the best time to get into this game because they're doing a lot of repackaged content. So what I would suggest that you do is go to wherever, your local game store, your online game store, or whatever, and buy the revised core set for Lord of the Rings. This will give you all the cards that you need to play. It is effectively 3 core sets, 3 old core sets, and there's this like confusing thing going on right now. Is like there's the old content and the new content. So if you are familiar with Arkham, the Arkham content is also getting repackaged. Same thing for Lord of the Rings. It's just Lord of the Rings is not doing it in order. So buy the core set for Lord of the Rings. It's a box this size, except it says Lord of the Rings on it. That will get you in the water. That's going to be the starting purchase of the core set. After that, what I would suggest is probably getting into one of the campaign expansions, or they have starter decks. So the campaign expansions come in 2 boxes, similar to the new Arkham repackaged content. The revised one, yes, the revised core set for Lord of the Rings. Buy that, and then there are a couple of other campaign expansions that are out. There's also the saga expansions, and so at this point you can kind of make a decision on where you want to go. Josh has played through the expansions that have been released. There's been Agmar, and so maybe he can help with which one would be best. But like Agmar Awakens, I know is out. So there's the campaign box, which is going to come with all the quests, which is the baddies, and then there's the player card, I think it's called, which comes with all of this side of the table. And so the starter decks are key to making new content work. Okay, then yes, then buy the starter decks. The starter decks are going to be packaged decks. There are 4 of them, and they are pre-built decks that have really cool tribal stuff going on. So like there's the dwarfs. There's a deck all about the dwarfs. There's a deck all about Gondor. There's a deck all about Rohan, and then there's a deck all about the elves, which I think are Noldor. The Noldor elves. Starter decks are crazy good. If local stores don't carry this game like mine, check out Boardlandia. You're Europe. I don't know. They're really strong. Will help tackling the tough quest without a full card pool. Yeah. So I'll have to think about Europe. Are you in? I've ordered from, I think it's Zatu, maybe? They're not that hard to find. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so get the revised core set, then get the starter decks. I would pick up all of them, but if you want to pick and choose, I would pick and choose whichever ones sound more interesting to you thematically, because they all sound fairly strong. And then I would go into probably Agmar, or go pick up Buy Some Same Token. Zazu is not a great choice. They left the EU. Oh, okay. Did not realize that. Mini taxes. Okay, don't do that then. But yeah, so buy those starter decks. Those are going to be really good to help you like work with some of the Tri-Sphere decks. The core set decks that they recommend are not super great, but there's also, I can point you to a lot of resources where people have made decks with the core set that kind of help with like seeing multiple different spheres and all of that. So it's a really good time because of all the repackaged content. They have also released the Fellowship of the Ring. So they have the saga expansions, which are playing through the events told in the Lord of the Rings as well as the Hobbit. They have repackaged the content into one box for the Fellowship of the Ring, and so that's now available. And then there is they just announced the Dream Chaser cycle. And so those are just future cycles that are kind of the more well-received cycles that they're putting into a easier to find and cheaper or more affordable option. So TLDR, TLDW, core set, starter decks, campaign expansion / player card expansion. But it's a good time to get in, because when I was getting in, I was searching the edge of the earth to use an Arkham reference, the edge of the earth, to find some of these packs. Speaking of packs, we get to open one. The Doomland Trap. Sweet. Alrighty, so I'm going to be right back. I'm going to clean up, and then we're going to go and we're going to open this and get some new player cards. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. Cool, I'll see you in a sec.